Welcome to episode 21 of Box News. This one is about the game Metal Gear Solid 4, which is by Konami, exclusive to PlayStation 3. This is a couple years old now, but obviously I just started doing this recently, so I'm going to touch some old games also. Going back to, well, who knows how far I'll go back. I might even, like I said, pull out the Atari and do some reviews. If you have a request, definitely throw it out there. But this one's a couple years old now. The reason why I wanted to bring this one up sooner than later is because this is a must-have if you have a PS3. If you've never played a Metal Gear game, you probably should get on that and download on the PlayStation Network Metal Gear Solid, which was a PS1 game. Get that game, then go out and find Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 for the PS2, and if you have a backwards compatible PS3, get it, play it, beat it. If you can't find 3, that's okay, because 3 goes back before the whole series. It's about his father. But 1, 2, and 4 are about Solid Snake, and they're very solid games. So definitely pick up 1 and 2, play through that, because you're going to enjoy 4 so much more. It's a fantastic game, fantastic wrap-up of the series, and I was just smile the whole time through it. It's a very long game. I don't even remember how long it took me. I'd say 30 plus hours. It's a long game, and probably a quarter of the game you're watching cinematics anyways. So kick back, it's like a movie, so play through a level, kick back and watch the cinematic. And some games you're like, ugh, really? I just want to play this one. If you enjoy the story, you're like, wow, I can't get enough. I wish they'd do a movie. And they might possibly be doing a movie, as long as Nicolas Cage doesn't play Solid Snake. God, kill me. So definitely pick up Metal Gear Solid 4. The reason this game is so great is because the visuals are stunning, the cutscenes are amazing, the controls are perfect, and there's so many little extras for your inventory and everything that is like a throwback to 1, and just like a thank you for being a fan of the series. Everything about this game is like a thank you for supporting this series, and everything that Hideo Kojima, the producer of the game, it's like a thank you. It's like, hey fans, we finally have the technology on the PS3 to give you what you truly want and what I want in a game, and Hideo delivers with that. The gameplay, like I said, is fantastic. Controllers are easy to use. Nothing is difficult. They make it a third-person shooter game, as well as being a stealth tactical game, which stealth was it? Tactical espionage was the name of the nickname to the first one. All the characters, well, majority of the characters that you knew, loved or hated, are back in this one for even smaller big appearances, and there's a lot of closure on most of the characters. There's still open ending, which they touch on with Metal Gear Rising, which is coming to the 360. Be on the lookout for that. That's another story. It doesn't involve Solid Snake, but I'm sure he'll make an appearance, and I'm sure so will some of the other characters, but the main focus is not going to be on this main story. It's going to be a side mission of what happened with Raiden, who's a character that appeared in 2 and 4. He may have appeared in something else, but I don't know. But if you want to learn more about the story, to tie in all the games, get the Metal Gear Solid, it's not really a game, but look on the PlayStation Network for it. It's like a timeline of all the events that went on throughout the story of the character, and you can learn more about the story. It's very well written, especially for a war story. A lot of them become cheesy and just focused on the killing, and then especially with stealth games, there's so much like, hey, hide behind this, sneak up on him, break his neck, move on to the next point, do this. This game does not do that. There's so many different environments, so many different upgrades that you can buy, there's so many different characters that you care about. There's so much good in this game, I can't really describe a flaw in it. It's honestly, I was so happy to get a PlayStation 3 and get this game. And right now you can find it anywhere probably less than $15. And I honestly, I got it used. I was late into getting a PS3, and I would have paid $60 the day it came out if I had the system in at that time, which I didn't. But I'm glad I do now. So definitely, if you don't have a PS3 yet and you're wondering what games you should get for it, I've talked about a couple already, like Little Big Planet. I'll be talking about games like Uncharted. So those are games you should get for it. Heavy Rain, definitely. You watched my review on that. This is another one on that list which you must have if you have a PS3. If you don't have it, get it. If you can't find it, eBay or whatever you use to order games, GameStop, whatever you can find. Get this game. You will enjoy it, I guarantee it. And like I said, if you don't have a PS3, put this high on your list as one of the first games, especially because the price is low right now. Just get it. You will enjoy it. But I encourage you to get 1 and 2 at least, if you can't find 3, and play through 1 and 2 to get the story. Because you will enjoy it much more. But can you just play through 4? Yeah, you can play through 4. Replayability, high, because there's online, which is deathmatch, a couple other modes, VR training. It adds to it, okay? It adds. It's not the reason I'd get the game, because there's not as many people playing it. But definitely, Metal Gear Solid 4 is a fantastic game. Please, pick this one up, try it out, and remember, I recommended it to you. And if you are under the age of 17, I must warn you, mature audiences only. But I know that doesn't stop most of you. So, but trying to be good here. So, definitely check out Metal Gear Solid 4 PS3. Thank you for watching Box News. Subscribe, tell your friends, do whatever you can to market me, because just because you rock, I rock, we all rock. So Box News, thank you for watching in. Stay tuned for more awesome, amazing, fantastic reviews. Thank you again.
In the not too distant future, warfare is the basis of the global economy. And technology has created a new kind of military.
We're moving out.
Where every move and every thought
You don't trust me?
of every soldier
Activated.
can be controlled.
I never thought it would be so easy. The system is mine!
Except for one.
Sounds like the perfect job for me.
Snake, I'm counting on you.
Terminate Liquid.
He's preparing to unleash his insurrection.
Die, Snake!
Your body is approaching its limit.
How long do I have?
When war becomes business.
Merrick had better sleep soundly while she still can.
When armies are bought and sold.
The Patriots are trying to control the digital flow of information.
They've implemented a system that monitors every soldier engaged in combat action.
Who is left in control?
This is my final mission.
This summer,
Stop! Brother! It's been too long.
evil is powerful.
Die!
But courage is solid.
Here we go!
Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots.
Hello?
We're on the trail of the lost treasure of El Dorado, and it's brought us here, to this tiny island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
El goddamn Dorado.
I'm telling you, Sully, this is finally it.
Will we discover the ruins of a forgotten colony and a fortune in Spanish gold?
Of course. It was a golden idol.
Or does the island have darker secrets in store for us?
I'll be damned.
If the Spanish found the treasure, they had to have moved it there.
Over there.
Hunt him down!
Okay, what's going on?
Pirates.
Pirates?
The modern kind. They don't take prisoners.
Lead me to the gold, and I just might let you live.
Don't you guys usually just cut off a finger or something?
This is so not cool! How much trouble. Come on, girl.
Welcome to episode 22 of Box News. I'm going to give you 2 more reasons why you should buy a PS3. This one is obviously about the Uncharted gaming series, featuring Nathan Drake as the main character. Very similar to if you've ever played a Tomb Raider game, by the way. Uncharted Drake's Fortune is the first one, which is a greatest hits, and I believe Uncharted Among Thieves, which is Uncharted 2, will be a greatest hit very soon. Both of these are by Naughty Dog Studios, which is exclusive to the PS3. You can't get this on any other system, so I encourage you, both of these are Game of the Year by the way, I encourage you to get a PS3. 2 more reasons why. I'm not trying to say that either system is better than the other, nor am I trying to, sell product for either one. I'm just telling you what games you should play, what games you should completely avoid, and why. That's why I do these reviews, and that's why I thank you all for subscribing. If you listen to my advice, if you don't, that's completely up to you. Like I said, Box News is unbiased reviews for the most part. Just giving my thoughts and my experiences on each game. Uncharted, Nathan Drake is the main character. Basically, you go through, each has its own different, not really different story, they connect to each other. Drake's Fortune, you go through and try to find one of his ancestors' fortunes. You go through the jungle, you go through cities. It's set up very much like Tomb Raider. If you've ever played Tomb Raider, it's very similar. It's a third-person action-adventure game, which allows you to shoot people to get through the jungle to survive, basically. And it's a very well-written story. The dialogue is fantastic. The visuals, not perfect, but really good. It looks really good. Also, for the girls out there, you can get into this because there is a love story in the game. I'm not saying that girls don't get into video games or games like this or love stories, or guys don't do. Anyways, so Uncharted Drake's Fortune goes through that. It's a single-player game, so there's no online in the first one. Single-player game, basically, you go through the motions of it, you go through the story. It's a linear gameplay. It's fun. It's because of that, but there's no. The action adventure, you think of exploring. There's really no exploring, but you really never get the feel of not exploring. Does that make sense? Maybe. Basically, you go through the jungle. It's on a set path, but you still feel like you're in the middle of nowhere. You really don't feel like you're going on a set path through this. So it's fun. The look of the game is fantastic. You'll see in the little clips. Basically, the differences between the two are very, very much nothing, other than Uncharted 2 has 5 versus 5 online multiplayer, and up to 3-player co-op doing different things online. You get to play different characters that you have. In both games, you find treasure, you get points for it, you can buy different costumes, buy videos, little editing clips, like basically production stuff, like some drawings, artwork, clips, costumes, and then of course you get trophies, which is like achievements for the Xbox. So going through the game, you get to unlock those, which allows different things to happen within the second playthrough. You get flip mode, which flip-flops, mirrors the game, so it's backwards, so it seems different enough. You get like fast mode, no Donkey Kong mode, no paintball mode. You just get different modes like that. The combat system was slightly improved for 2. You can cover a little better. The aiming is one of the most difficult things in the game. There's no auto aim, you kind of have to guess, but the enemies aren't that difficult. The melee system was slightly tweaked for the second one, little improvements to have better hand-to-hand combat for when you run out of ammo, which is rarely ever a problem. You can always pick up all the guns that your enemies drop. You rarely ever run out of ammo. The thing you do run out of a lot is grenades, but they give you a lot more in number 2. There's more vehicle stuff in 2 also, for like cutscenes, little, not a mini game, but like a mid-mission kind of thing, which is really cool. There's also the Indiana Jones thing, which a lot of games are doing now, is run away from an object or something, breaking down, get to the next checkpoint, and so on and so forth. Checkpoints in both games are very well balanced. You never get frustrated by getting too far a level, having to get shot back and restart. And the story really draws you in. Both games probably take, I don't know, 15-20 hours to beat. And like I said, the visuals are stunning, the cutscenes are amazing, the story is great. it deserves. Both games really deserve Game of the Year 2007 and Game of the Year 2009. I recommend both. Greatest hits, you can find this less than $20. Used, you can find Uncharted 2 around $30, $35, depending on where you go. Probably much less on eBay. So I definitely recommend picking up Uncharted, Drake's Fortune, and Uncharted 2 Among Thieves. Both fantastic games, must-have games for the PlayStation 3. I'm giving you now 2 more reasons why you should get a PlayStation 3. And like I said before, I'm not saying Xbox is bad with the red rings of death, the 54% failure rate. I'm not saying. I'm just saying that the PlayStation does pretty much everything. It has Blu-ray. I mean, you've seen the commercial. So check out a PlayStation. I don't favor either system. Microsoft, Xbox 360, thumbs up. Red rings of death, thumbs down. PlayStation 3 Blu-ray, thumbs up. PlayStation games, thumbs up. Xbox games, thumbs up. Both have exclusive, both have perks. You decide. You know, whatever makes you happy. The online is much better for 360. PlayStation 3, you know, online's okay. You don't have to pay for it, so I mean, you could pay for it, don't pay for it. You decide. But I'm sure that battle will come in one of my reviews, PlayStation or Xbox. But now is not the time to debate, and I will not debate with myself because that'd be weird, even though I am the master debater. Anyways, thank you for watching episode 22 Box News. Please subscribe, tell your friends, and have a good day.
So, they have beaten you, huh? Your quest is over? What if it's only beginning? Some of the most fearsome rulers through history have possessed only a fragment of the Chintamani stone. What would a man become if he possessed the stone itself?
Where did you find this guy?
Lazarovich paid top dollar for Marco Polo's journals. He's been after the Chintamani stone for years.
You're competing with a psychopathic war criminal for a mythological gemstone?
I'm sensing some history here.
Elena Fisher, last year's model.
We're gonna snatch that treasure right out from under them.
They'll never see it coming.
Yeah, well, payback's a bitch.
So, what's your angle on all this misery?
You're gonna get us all killed.
My friend, where did you find this?
You mind telling me what the hell is going on?
I miss the look on your face.
I know where the stone is.
Pray that he is not bluffing.
It's time to tip the odds back in our favor.
Sweep the city, find him, and take him out.
Sure hope you know what you're doing.
I don't have the faintest idea.
Alright, welcome to episode 23 of Box News, here with Pro Gamer again, Andrea Alana. You've seen her in the Just Cause 2 review. Now she's here today to help me out with the Super Mario Galaxy series. Let's take a look at what she's doing right now. We're actually playing Super Mario Galaxy, the first one, but we're going to talk about both of them here. Basically the difference is which one's better, which one's worse, why you should get it, why you should avoid it. Let's start out with your opening thoughts on Super Mario Galaxy 1. How did you feel about the first game?
It was fun. It's a lot of fun. It's, you know, if you're a Mario fan, it's always mindless entertainment, and that's exactly what it is.
Now for graphics wise, we're seeing here some gameplay. How are the graphics for the Nintendo Wii? Is this like the best game that they have for graphics, or?
I haven't really played a whole lot of games on the Wii, so I don't know about if it's the best, but the graphics are pretty good. I mean, it's a Mario game. It's exactly what you expect. They basically took the graphics from like the Nintendo 64 version of Mario and made them better.
Okay, so it's similar gameplay if you're familiar with Nintendo 64?
Yeah, basically. I mean, like, you have certain worlds that you go into, you can do it more than once to get more stars, and there's all sorts of different things that you have to do, climbing, jumping. You know, it's the same, it's a Same exact story. Princess is in peril from Bowser. Mario's got to go save her. It's the normal blueprint for a Mario game, but it's fun. It's great fun.
So this is called Galaxy. I take it takes place in space.
Yeah.
So Mario has now entered the realms of space.
Yes.
Does that kind of ruin the series? Is that not cool that he's in space now? Because I know when things go to space, they become cheesy.
No, I think it's fine. It's fun. It's like the reason that it makes it perfectly okay is it fits with the story and what you're doing here. Like you get shot all over the place, and you have to. You really have to play it to understand, but you can move from world to world, and you get to do all these things, and it's a lot of fun. The stars will shoot you to the earth. Gravity doesn't really work the way that it normally does, obviously, on Earth, and it's so much fun. You can walk around a world instead of just like on a flat surface like we do on Earth. You can walk on the sides, you can walk on the top, you can walk on the bottom. It's a lot of fun.
So gravity has a huge effect on this.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Are there differences then for graphics between Super Mario Galaxy 1 and Super Mario Galaxy 2?
No, it's almost exactly the same.
Okay, so they pretty much did the same graphic design, same engine, everything. They just made a new story for it, or is it a continuation of this one?
I haven't played a ton of Super Mario 2. I haven't had a whole lot of time to do it, but it's so far they just act like this one never happened. At least that's the way it is so far. Like they throw you right in. You're already in space. You kind of already know what you're doing, and you just start going through worlds.
Okay. Now, based off, like you said, you've only played the second one a little bit. Which one is more fun? Are there new elements in the second one? Did they make improvements on things that were faulty in the first one? Like, what's some of the differences you've noticed so far?
To be honest, it's mostly the same. To me, it was. I mean, the gameplay is the same. You still do the same things. You're looking for stars. You're running all over the universe, trying to figure out how to get up there and get over here. And so far, it's almost exactly the same. It's just new levels and a new story-ish.
Okay. Which one would you recommend for people who have not played either? Would you recommend
the first one?
The first one first?
Yeah. Oh yeah, the story in the first one is great. Like I honestly thought, hey, yay, another mindless Mario game, which I love. I like games that make you think too, but Mario is always fun. You don't have to think too hard. You know what you got to do. It doesn't take a hardcore gamer to enjoy a Mario game. But the story is actually pretty great, and it's a lot of fun. You actually start to care about what you're doing, and there's just so many elements of the story that I'm not really going to explain because it would ruin it, but it's a great, great game. And if you haven't played it before, I would recommend the first one for sure.
Okay, now for controls on the Wii. A lot of the games, they overuse or underuse the motion controls. How does that work with this game?
Oh, I think this one's perfect. I mean, you use every part of the Wii controller, but it's not done in a way that is confusing or hard to use, and you use both the nunchuck and the what is this, the wand? I don't even know what they really call it. But you use all of it, and it's done really well. It's done very easily. Like I said, this is not a game that it takes a genius to play, and that's part of the reason why I love it so much.
Do you feel it's geared towards kids only, or is this
No.
something that everyone can enjoy? It's
No,
not too childish.
Everyone can enjoy it, of course.
Okay,
It's a Mario game.
So being Mario, everyone will enjoy it because it's Mario.
I think so. I enjoyed it for sure.
Now, it's been getting great reviews. I believe both Galaxy games have gotten perfect reviews from other people. How do you base it? What flaws do you think should have been fixed, or if there's complaints about level design, characters, anything? What's your biggest complaint?
I was not a big fan of Mario 64, I'll be honest. Some of the stuff was just too hard for me. Like, I don't have good depth perception. I can't, sometimes when I jump from wall to wall, I screw up because, like I said, I don't have good depth perception. But, and if there was going to be a complaint for this game, that would be my complaint, is it's very similar to Mario 64 in the fact that a lot of it is depth perception, I can't even say it right. You know, judging where you have to jump, judging where you have to go, how far you have to go, and unfortunately, I'm not good at that. So sometimes I fall, or I can't, you know, complete something because I'm constantly falling on accident, or not being able to get something because I don't. And it also uses inverted, and as far as I know, you can't change it, and I hate inverted controlling. Like right now, I'm trying to go underwater, and I can't exactly remember how.
Okay, so that's your biggest complaints then.
Yeah.
Now, what's your final thoughts then on this game? What would you grade it? Would you recommend it to?
I would recommend it to anyone who enjoys Mario. If you enjoy the Mario series, you're gonna enjoy this game. And if I was gonna rate it, I would rate it probably like a low A minus. I don't know.
Okay. So almost a perfect game in your mind.
I like it.
So if you have a Wii, pretty much you must have this game.
Yeah. It's one of the, I mean, Wii is full of shovelware and crappy games, and this is definitely not one of those. This is definitely an awesome game that you should get for it.
So should you rush out and buy a Wii to get this game,
No,
or
no? I don't think, unless you want a Wii, I don't think you should buy one because it's not for the hardcore gamer. There aren't hardcore games on the Wii. I think there was one. That was that bloody one or whatever. But
okay, so definitely if you have a Wii, pick it up. If you don't, you don't need to rush out. Basically, that's our final thoughts on it. And pretty much this was a wrap up for Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. This was a series review. Obviously, if you liked 1, get 2. If you haven't played either or, pick it up if you have a Wii, basically. I want to thank you all for watching this special edition of Box News with special guest host Andrea Lana. Find her on Xbox Live, on PlayStation Network. And enjoy. Thank you again. We see gameplay footage now of Lego Harry Potter on the 360. It honestly does not matter which system you get this on. They are both identical in gameplay, graphics, and so on and so forth. So if you have either or system, you're gonna have the same experience. For a Lego game, Andrea Lana, do you recommend this one compared to the other ones?
Absolutely, especially if you're a Harry Potter fan.
Okay, so if you're a fan of the series, this one I must let you know, it's books 1 through 4 or movies, however you've experienced the series. Some people don't like to read, some people don't like movies, so however you experience the series, it's parts 1 through 4. I'm assuming after the last movie comes out, well, both parts of the last movie comes out, they'll release books, 5 through 7 at that time. I don't know how they'll split it up. They'll probably do it like the movies and split it into 2 parts, but who knows? I mean, that's up to the game developer to decide. Basically, tell me what you're doing here in this level. Where are you? What's going on?
This is the level in the 3rd book where Buckbeak is tied up, and Hermione and Harry have gone back to have used the little time traveler thing to go back and save him.
Okay. So you get to play as all of these characters, or what characters do you get to play as?
It's different depending on the level, kind of like how it is in Star Wars. You don't, of course, in the first playthroughs, you get what character is relevant to the story at that time. So, like in this level, if it's Harry and Hermione by themselves, because Ron is in the hospital. So, in the first playthrough of the world, the story playthrough of the world, you get Harry and Hermione to play. But as you can see, I can, now that I have opened up the free play, you get all the characters that you would need. There's a ghost, there is one of every type of student, so a Ravenclaw, a Hufflepuff, a Gryffindor, and a Slytherin. You get, Hermione has a special thing, Ron has a special thing, and Harry has a special thing, so you get all of them. And then you get different characters, like this is Lucius Malfoy, who's Draco's father. He can do dark magic, which a lot of the students can't, obviously, because they don't learn that in school. Hagrid, he can do heavy things. He pulls heavy things, lifts heavy things. This is one of the, what are they called? Goblins from the bank. And he can open locks and safes. And then you get a dog who can dig.
Okay, now you said special things. What's the importance of having different characters in your second playthrough?
There are certain things that you can unlock. If you've ever played any of the Lego series, not just Harry Potter series, but you'll know that there are certain things that you cannot do without a certain type of character. So in certain worlds, you'll need to dig. Well, in the first playthrough, chances are you won't have a digging character, so you have to go back through to 100% the game, basically. In this game, if you look at the pause menu, on the bottom left, there's a student in peril in every level that you have to save. On the bottom right, there are the crests, one for each house. And then there's True Wizard, which is just like the other games. True Jedi and the other ones. And then there are also three special characters hidden in every level that you can find and then buy. So that also helps you. Like in one level you have to find Lucius Malfoy, so you have dark magic, so you can use them. So there's three of those in every level as well.
Okay, why don't you show off some of these little powers or special abilities for each of these characters if you can in this level.
Okay, over here we've got something blinking, which means that I found the red brick for something hidden. But unfortunately I'm not sure what is supposed to be here. That's the problem. Like, it's a lot of exploring, a lot of figuring things out. Here's a good example of something. This is Wingardium Leviosa, which is one of the very first tricks the students learn, both in the books and the movies, and also in the game. And you basically make things move, or dance, or pick things up, or it's the basic trick that everybody has. Harry has. This is their little list of things that he has: the invisibility cloak, so he can be invisible. He also has something that the other characters don't, which is the, what's that thing? It starts with a P. His special thing that scares away the Dementors. I can never remember what it's called. But he shoots that out, and it's a stag, and it kills the Dementors. Which is something that the other characters don't have. Now Hermione, if you look, she has the ability to beat the basilisks when they come out of the things, and she also has the ability to use her cat. And when her cat comes out, her cat can crawl into tubes, the cat can dig, it can do all sorts of things. And she's one of the only characters that can use that. This busts open metal things, this is a light, so you can kill plants that might be alive, and then this is a freezing thing. But they all have the Wingardium Leviosa, they all learn that right away. So.
Okay. Now you mentioned tricks, magic that they learn. One of the most important things, obviously, when you make a game that follows a story or a movie or anything of that nature, how closely does this follow the books or movie?
I would say that it follows the movies better than it follows the books. It's almost identical to the movies. And I mean, the movies follow the books pretty well, but of course there are things that get left out, for time constraints, and it's the same with the game. It's split up into 6 different levels. Every book is, and it follows it very well. I mean, I think it does pretty good.
You get to play the highlighted parts, then obviously the rest is cutscenes to tell the story.
Yes. They do use cutscenes in between, or when you finish a story in the story level, they fill everything in with cutscenes and things like that. Yes.
Okay, So what's the replay value of this game then after you beat the story?
After you beat the story, it's extremely high, in my opinion. I love these games. I have played the Star Wars, I played the Indiana Jones. I love these games. They're so ridiculously fun and addicting, and after you beat the story, there is still so much that you can do before you 100% the game.
Okay, so if once you 100%, you're pretty much done.
Yeah, I mean, once you 100% the game, there's nothing else to do.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So if you're a fan of the series, you definitely recommend this.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Let me ask you this: we've seen Batman, we've seen Indiana Jones, we've seen multiple Star Wars. Another Star Wars is coming out. Lego Star Wars 3: The Clone Wars, which follows the animated series of that. Let me ask you this final question: what series would you like to see, or book, movie, anything made into a Lego game?
Twilight. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
And cut. Nice.
No, I think that, gosh, you know what would be really cool would be the, what's the ones with the hobbits? Lord of the Rings?
Lord of the Rings.
That'd be
Lego
pretty
Lord of
sweet.
the Rings. Okay, so
You know?
if anyone's out there, developers, here you go. Do not do Twilight. Do Lego Lord of the Rings. Basically, I want to wrap things up now. Final grade on this?
Oh, A plus.
A plus. Practically a perfect game.
I love it.
Like
yes.
Legos. Who doesn't like Legos? Like Harry Potter. Some people might not. So basically, pick up this game. You won't be disappointed. It will take you a long time. It's not quick. So basically, thank you for watching episode 24. Enjoy Lego Harry Potter, available now. Thank you very much. Alright, welcome to episode 25. This is the top 25 games of the year. Basically, I took games that were released between March 2009 and of July 2010. Between that time period is how I figured out which would be the best of the year. The reason I'm doing this, episode 25, couldn't think of anything better to do at the moment. And then also, we're also entering August, which is the new quarter. The third quarter starts for game sales. All the big titles are going to start coming out. You're going to see August through December, all the big games coming out. You're going to see the new Call of Duty, you're going to see the new Halo and all those games. I mean, there's other games, new Rock Band. There's a lot of big games coming out that are going to be for next year's sales and which ones. But like I said, this is a top 25 this past year. What I felt like, in my mind, deserved to be on the list, and sorry for those games that didn't. It's not that you suck, I just didn't either play you or didn't like you. Yes, I will piss people off with this top 25 list, but guess what? I don't care. This is my review. Do your own. So here's my top 25. Coming in at 25, Dragon Age Origins. The reason I put it on the list is because it was okay. It wasn't horrible. It was a decent RPG. Number 24 is the game Ghostbusters. Fun game if you're a fan of the Ghostbusters series. If you're not, it's still fun. It basically is like a third part to the movies, and it has all the original actors doing the voices in it. Fun game. Number 23, Guitar Hero 5. Yes, this is another installment in the Guitar Hero series. It does add some new things, keeps a lot of hold. Basically, this is the one that had the lawsuits on it. So check that out. Number 22, Alan Wake. Great game, great thriller, great investigative, kind of jumpy, new twist on the thriller franchise. You've seen my review already for that, so if you have not, check it out. Look up my episode guide. 21, Battlefield Bad Company 2. You've seen a review on this one. You know why it's on the list. You know why it's this low. So once again, check out the review on that. Resident Evil 5 coming in at 20. That's a review in itself that will come another day. Not a fantastic game, not a horrible game. It was what it was. That's why it made number 20. Number 19 is Green Day Rock Band. You've seen my review on that. Number 18 is Just Cause 2. You've seen the review on that with pro gamer Andrea Lana, so check that one out again if you haven't seen it. Number 17, you probably just saw this review recently. If you have not, check it out, is UFC Undisputed 2010. 2009 was eligible to be on this list also, but I did not want to put both of them, and I told you the differences and why one should be on and one should be not. So 2010 is on there at number 17. Number 16, Batman Arkham Asylum. Really fun game. Check it out. I'll have a review for that eventually. They're going to be making a sequel to it, which I believe comes out this fall, so check that out. 15, jumping ahead. Number 15 is X-Men Origins Wolverine. Fantastic game. That's why it's on this list. There goes my list. Number 14, Left 4 Dead 2. Number 13, Beatles Rock Band. I need to do a review on that one because if you like the Beatles and you like Rock Band, you must get the game, but that's a review coming up. Number 12, you've seen my review for this already. Well, actually, this was a guest host review. Bioshock 2. I have a review up for that. Check out my episode guide. Number 11, Halo ODST. Not the best of the Halo games. I will have a review for that eventually. So I'll tell you my faults with it, but still high up on the list because Halo is still a fun game. Number 10, here comes the top 10 of the year. Like I said, I'm going to probably piss some of you off with the placement of this, but guess what? I don't care. Do your own review. Or comment, do what you got to do. I really don't care. Number 10 is MAG. Fantastic first-person shooter for the PlayStation 3. The only faults in it were, like I said in my review, it's online only, no campaign, but does it take away from it? No, because it was made for online only. Number 9, Infamous for the PS3 only. Did a review on that, so check that out. Number 8, God of War 3. A lot of you think it probably should be higher. I felt I placed it perfectly. And once again, this is my review, not yours. Make your own. Number 7, Modern Warfare 2. I know you'll be like, what? It's not number 1? Yeah, it's not that good. Number 6, Super Mario Galaxy 2. Great game. You just probably saw the review on that. Number 5, Red Dead Redemption. Fantastic game. This top 5 now is really hard to place. Number 5 is really, Red Dead Redemption is, like I say, it's hard to place these top 5. I don't know where to do them, but after lots of thought, it made perfect sense where I placed these 5. So number 5, Red Dead Redemption, great game. Any of these top 5 you should buy. These are definitely must-own games. Number 4, Mass Effect 2. Number 3, Assassin's Creed 2. Number 2, Heavy Rain. And if you don't know what number 1 is by this time, you're like, what else came out this year? What could he possibly have as the number 1 game of the year? What could he have? Well, it sucks because I'm not going to tell you. You're going to have to think of your own. Just kidding. Number 1 game of the year is Uncharted 2 by Naughty Dog. Fantastic game. You should pick it up. Like I said, all these top 5 or even top 10 are must-own games. Once again, I'll run through the list for those of you just tuning in. Just kidding. Just hit play again. Give me another play. I had the head shake from the camera lady. She said, no, don't run through it again. You're boring people. So check out, my other reviews on games. I have lots to come. Basically, this is episode 25 episodes in. You've now probably wasted 4 hours of your life. So thank you for being supportive of this. Copy paste, tell people online, Facebook, Twitter, whatever other social network site that one out there. Was it MySpace? Fantastic one. People love that. So once again, thank you for checking out Box News. This is my top 25 of the year from March 2009 to July 2010. In a year's time, I will do yet another one of these. And here's to hoping we have some really good games, enough to make a top 25 at that time. Maybe a top 100, maybe 100 awesome games come out. But I honestly doubt it. So here's to another good year, hopefully, of gaming, and let's cross your fingers, no more red rings of death in the future for anyone out there. Thank you again. Box News. Alright, welcome to episode 26 of Box News. Still on the air so far. Joined today with 2 special guests. We have Shano playing the game. Today's game is God of War 3. We're going to talk about the series and mostly God of War 3. Also joined with Pro Gamer Home Skillet. So add both Shano and Home Skillet on Xbox Live and challenge them. Obviously not for God of War, but for Xbox games. This review, like I said, is about God of War 3, and then we'll talk about the series also with some changes. Let's start off with Home Skillet. What are your thoughts? Like, basically describe what's going on. Where are we at in the game?
We're starting. He's climbing Mount Olympus after Zeus, Gaia the tree. And he's fighting Poseidon also, who is trying to take him off the side of the mountain. Next.
Now, why is this, like, give me some thoughts on the game. Like, what, obviously I've talked to you about this game, but people online watching, they don't know, how good or bad this game is. Is this game great? Is this game horrible?
I think it might have been closer to number 1 on your list of top 25s.
Okay. Why is that?
I think it has the best graphics you'll ever see in a game. I think it has the best story if you're into Greek mythology, or even if you're not, it tells you enough about it, fills you in on backstory, so you can kind of learn about it as you're playing. I think the controls are simple, but Shano over there seems to think that they're a little different.
Shano, what don't you like about the controls? He has no clue anything does.
But also, you're not a frequent PlayStation player.
You're not dying right now, no. See right there, it says in the corner, it gives you tutorials for the first time player.
It gives you a tutorial the whole time on how to use the character. But you are also jumping into God of War 3 and have never touched God of War 1 or 2.
Now, do you think that's a problem for someone who's never played any of God of Wars to play this?
I don't, because as you see, it's showing you what to do. But I mean, when I had it, I knew what to do. I didn't really have to read the tutorial. Yeah. I just knew how to control them.
Now, for story value, obviously it's highly recommended to play 1 and 2.
Yeah, all links together. And they have, it sucks because Chains of Olympus ties 2 and 3. And if you don't have a PlayStation or PSP, whatever it's out on,
you don't know the complete story.
Yeah.
But does it really ruin the experience of the story if you don't play?
No, it's just a little extra. Almost like a video they'll sell you on the marketplace.
Now, as you can see here, we have not really cutscenes, but I mean, it pans out and does things throughout the game. Do you like that in a game where it stays focused?
I do.
You did, or?
Yeah, I actually like how the CGs look identical to the gameplay. I didn't think that they could actually make it look like that.
So they actually pulled it off?
Yeah.
Now, the thing I didn't like about it, here's my complaints with the whole God of War series. Each game you can beat in roughly 8 hours apiece.
Yep.
So you have a trilogy that, you do the math.
16 hours.
Well, 24 with the trilogy.
Yeah.
That's roughly short. I know one game alone is more than 24 hours sometimes.
Yeah.
So that's kind of short. That kind of ruined it for me.
Yeah.
So
I wish it was longer. I do. But I don't know if they would have added more. Would it have got dragged out with the story?
That could be. Do you think the pacing was good then?
I think the game does go by quick, but I guess it also depends how quick you get through the side puzzles. I guess you could get stumped and the game may take you a little longer.
Now, when you talk about puzzles, explain a puzzle to me.
I think he's coming up on one if you keep watching, actually, isn't he?
I'm not sure.
As you can hear the button mashing over there.
You are dead. Restart from last checkpoint.
Jesus, that thing's impossible, babe.
So you think it's too hard?
Is the game challenging for you?
I don't even know where the hit it. Where do you hit it?
You hit it in the glowing lava-looking thing on its chest.
I was. It did nothing.
You have to keep hitting it, and the more you hurt it, the more it will spin.
So who was he fighting there?
That was a piece of Poseidon, I believe. One of Poseidon's little minions.
Okay. Since you're an expert on this gaming series, can you kind of explain the story throughout the 3 without giving much or spoilers away? Like, sell me on the game with the story.
On this one or the whole series?
The whole series. Kind of touch on one and work your way through.
Touch on one. I haven't played one in years. You want to help me on one?
Well, I mean, you know the characters and the antagonists of it all.
It's Kratos, which is the main character, and his wife. I don't know the wife and kid's name. Any idea?
I don't recall their name, to be honest.
No. But they get murdered, and he wants revenge. He blames the gods for it, and he goes after them. I mean, not a good selling point, but...
Does he do that in each one, then? Like, why?
Part
What's
one,
the
he goes
difference?
after it, and he kills... Well, so you have to give it away, but if you tell one, you're going to give away two. You're gonna give, if you go on, you're going to give it away.
Okay, well, let's spoil 1 and 2. I'm sorry for those people watching. If you don't want spoilers, stop playing the video.
Yeah.
But at this point, if you haven't played 1 or 2, sorry.
Yeah. Because basically in 1, you're going to get in a fight, and you're going to kill Ares, and you are going to become the god of war. And then you learn that Zeus, you are actually a bastard child. Am I allowed to use bastard?
Oh, you can use bastard, that's correct.
Bastard child of Zeus. And you are after him and want to kill your father because you blame him. And 2, and you go after him and you kill him, and instead he throws you off Mount Olympus, which, as you see, Shano is trying to climb back up. Got a little scare over here.
Cat's getting frisky.
Oh. And this one will take you through going back up the mountain and trying to seek revenge, which is basically what this game is about, is the story of revenge.
So all of you haven't played God of War 3, you should probably play it to find out if revenge is achieved.
I recommend it. It is short, but...
So let's...
50s... Well, I guess you could rent it and beat it in a renting period.
Do you recommend a person to buy or rent this game then?
It's weird for me to recommend renting it because I think it is one of the best games to come out. But with how short it is, I would actually just rent it.
If you're not an avid collector of games or a die-hard fan of the series, I'd also recommend renting it. I purchased it just because I love the series. I'm a huge fan of it. Not many flaws in it.
Shane, quit hitting the button, so you gotta follow button combo.
There's a lot of button mashing in the game, a lot of combos, so it's kind of the arcade-ish style to it. So it's very simple to learn the controls. It's basically just hit combos.
I do like how when you kill a boss or a big creature, you get like a little combo. And this game is very gory, not really for kids.
Now you get different weapons throughout the game from different people you kill. You inherit their things. You died again.
You got hit by this little claw.
Hit X.
I did.
When you
Obviously with this demo, Shano is not experienced with the game.
May I beat him?
Go ahead.
We're going to pass it to Home Skillet now.
Watch me die.
Watch him die. You get different weapons by killing enemies. You get, what are they, orbs in this game?
Yes.
You get orbs which you can use to power up and level up your weapons to strengthen yourself. Eventually becoming Ultimate God of War. That's the main focus, obviously, to go throughout it. You unlock new things, you get treasures, you get little things for trophies. So, I mean, there's a lot of cool little things that you unlock through the game. If you've seen Dante's Inferno review, it's obviously Dante's Inferno stole everything, pretty much, besides the story, which they kind of stole in a way. So it's very similar. If you enjoyed Dante's Inferno, you're going to enjoy this, or vice versa. Both very similar arcade fighting games. If you want to see the end result of what happens after you beat this boss and the rest of the story, definitely recommend renting this game and seeing what happens next. I want to thank Shano for trying to work his way through this game, and then Home Skillet also trying here. And basically, thank you for watching another episode of Box News. This was number 26. More fantastic games to come. Want to say bye?
See ya.
Bye.
Welcome to episode 27. This one covers Modern Warfare series. Modern Warfare 1 and Modern Warfare 2, which is part of the Call of Duty series. Who makes these? Was it Treyarch? No, Infinity Ward makes Modern Warfare, right?
Yes.
Treyarch does the other
Company
ones.
that does not exist right now.
That's true. Let's start off basically the thing most people probably ignore, the campaign. What are you guys' thoughts on the campaign for 4 and then Modern Warfare 2? Shano, anyone?
I like that 4, but I think Modern Warfare 2 is it surpasses 4 in that regard. But online play, I think 4 is way better. It's less complicated, but it's just way better.
Okay. Now, Modern Warfare 2's campaign is the one that had the most controversy. That's the one with, what was it?
Russia.
No Russian or whatever?
Russian airport.
Terminal.
Which you go around basically and can kill innocent civilians.
Well, I played that.
Yes.
I played it.
But it does offer you to pass it up if you do not want to play it.
Yep. So it does offer you, if it's too much for you, you can pass it. It won't affect achievements. It won't affect anything of the game. You can pass it. So those of you who are too sensitive, or if they want to commit suicide.
Like I just did.
That's why you should have commanded it.
What you see here. Well, let's touch on the campaign really quick. Basically, the campaigns of both, you play as, who do you play as throughout both campaigns?
U.S. Army.
U.S. Army. And you go through...
Well, then you go through, like, specimens and stuff like that.
Okay, so you go through as Russians, you go through the different factions, or whatever they're called?
Yeah, but on the U.S. side, it's just the Army.
Okay. So you go through the story of that. It's a well-written story. Is it long? Is it short?
I think it was a little bit longer than COD. I don't know. I really don't know, because I was playing that crap for days.
Crap?
Crap.
I don't know if that's a good thing to be able to do.
What are your thoughts, Skillet?
The story?
Yeah, the campaigns for both of them.
I like them. I think they are not appreciated enough due to the fact that everyone wants to play online and kill and or cheat.
That is true. I'm saddened by the fact that most people are concerned with online gameplay, and this is the biggest victim of all the games. And it's like, oh, is the online going to have this? Nobody is like, oh, is the story going to have this? You got owned. So, I mean, that really bothers me that there's... I mean, obviously there was a lot of emphasis put in the campaigns. They put a lot of work into making a good story. But most fans are concerned with the online, which is unfortunate.
It's not even
what are your favorite parts of either campaign and either game? Which stands out the most? No? What stands out the most of the campaign? Just either or game. What do you remember most?
Sadly enough, I remember the end of 4 the most. Is there a spoiler alert if I go into that?
The epic overpass, the highway thing, where he throws you the gun?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the most memorable things for me also.
I like the end of this one also, too.
I don't even remember it.
Sorry to ruin it, but it's the throwing knife.
Oh, yeah. Both have really well-written stories.
The throwing knife that you actually pull out of your own body because you were stabbed.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you throw it at him.
See, epic. So play the campaign out there. Stop playing online for a day and just play the campaign. Seriously, you get achievements for it. People play
don't
it.
care. They want to play online. I was actually shocked that all the achievements in this game weren't just based online.
That's really sad.
It is.
Let's touch now online, the differences between 4 and Modern Warfare 2. What are some of the major differences that you noticed?
All the perks makes worse players better.
Kill streaks, perks.
I believe that all the perks make players that aren't as good better.
Explain to me what perks are for those people who've never played a Call of Duty or a Modern Warfare game.
This perk, I may run it as long as I want because it's called Marathon. And this guy will never run out of breath until I am shot to death.
But they had that in 4, though.
Yes. Oh, someone is leaving.
Someone is leaving. Now, do you have matchmaking problems with this? Is it a pretty good server most of the time?
I like this setup better than 4 because 4, when someone left, it just ended the game.
Oh, that would be annoying.
So this one actually attempts to grab a new host like we're watching right now, which sometimes it fails, sometimes it works, but for the most part it works.
Are there new match-making modes, like game types in Modern Warfare 2 over 4?
Yeah, they added a few different ones. I forgot what the new ones are. I haven't played 4 in so long. I'm trying to think what are new ones.
Now, let's say both games... Oh. Double kill.
Double killing the guy that didn't even see me standing in a hallway.
Now, if both games came out at the same time, 4 and Modern Warfare 2, obviously that didn't happen or wouldn't ever happen that way. But if they came out at the same time, what would you prefer to play online?
I would take 4.
You would take 4. Why?
Because there wasn't as much cheating in 4. There wasn't as much glitches in 4. And I don't know, I just think it was a better, smoother experience.
But how come you don't play 4 right now over number 2?
Because everybody plays 2, so I'm forced to basically play it if I want to play with everyone that I know.
Gotcha. Now, explain to me. Explain to me what match you're in right now. Like, what's going on?
Let's see. I'm in headquarters. I had to look. Basically, there's a site. Everyone will rush to it, and you need to stand in it long enough without letting the opposing team get into it, and you will capture it. And then you will. Everyone will keep respawning until the thing is captured. Once it's captured, the team that is in control of it will not respawn.
Is that a modded controller?
I don't know. It shocked me.
I think that was a fall.
Now, you talk about modded things, people hacking. Is that a big problem in this game, or is that a lot of games now?
I don't play many other games online besides this one, and it is terrible.
Now, are you two also victims of modding or hacking?
Yes.
Yes.
Wait, modding. Well, not modding. I don't know. What I did is got achievements and all that. I did not tamper with the game and actually make the experience for someone else worse.
So you didn't prestige on your own, you jumped ahead in the game.
Okay, I went up 20 levels.
20 levels.
20 levels.
In 1 second.
In 1 second.
One quick
How long would that take a normal person?
Depends how good you are, actually. Look at that, I got an achievement on my own.
Give me a rough estimate.
What, to gain 20 levels?
Yeah.
Where were you at?
Well, yeah, if you're in the middle, well, it
you
depends.
20?
The first 20 go quick, the last 20 are actually really long.
So hours?
Oh, yeah, probably a day or so.
A day or so, and you did it in seconds.
Oh, yeah.
Do you feel accomplished?
I don't feel accomplished, but I was doing it for game
Do you recommend others to mod or hack their own accounts?
If they're playing game battles and need to beat a level 70, so yes.
And you're at a level 5.
Okay.
Do I regret it? Yes, because it takes away from everything to do in this game.
But you can just prestige again. And
no, because now I have all the call signs and I have all the.
Yeah, he's already got everything.
I have everything.
All the guns go away though.
Yeah, my guns go away, but some of the fun things was earning some of those call signs. It was a cool thing that they added into this game.
Alright, now closure on this game. Controls and everything, do you recommend this to a new person, or is this too competitive for a new first-person shooter fan to come into?
I think you can pick it up rather easily. But I think they should actually create rooms for newer players.
Okay,
Instead
so
of just
that's
throwing
improvement.
everyone into a room. They should. I mean, they have these prestiges for a reason. Why
And they
not
don't
put
separate
people separate them? Put players
That
by
makes
their
sense.
prestige and their rank together, so that you don't end up in a room with someone that's been playing 40 days because he has no life.
Now, final grade on the Modern Warfare series.
These two games?
Yep.
I would give it a B+, A-.
Shana?
The series?
Mm-hmm.
Probably B-.
Alright. I'd give it an average B. Fantastic. Game, really fun, competitive at times, frustrating, but you have that in every online game.
Quit
So basically,
online, play the campaign.
there you go.
We're
Last
making
thing.
it easier for sucky players.
It is.
Well, thanks for watching. This is episode 27, Box News.
Welcome to episode 28. This is Dragon Age Origins, which is on 360, PS3, and I think that's about all. Dragon Age is basically a medieval RPG, which are the greatest ever, because I hate shooters. You start out, and character customization is, kind of be careful with it, because my first character kind of looked retarded because I messed with too many things. So I just used presets. There's several different classes. I prefer the mage because I like standing back casting spells, though there are some endings that are only available if you choose the different classes. I like how they have the individual intros, whether you are a male or female, based on your classes and your race. You get achievements for all of them. Especially love multiple save files. This is one of those games where you start a game and then you play through to the end, and then you're still stuck with that game. You can start a new one anytime you want, and I haven't tested the limits of it, but I believe I've had up to 5 at once, and I think you can still do more. Basically, in the game, you start out as normal. You become a Grey Warden because there's dark spawn about, and they're nasty, evil little things, and you have to kill them all. So you join up with your group, and you can only have 4 people at a time, which kind of sucks because I was kind of stuck on 2 of them. There was obviously always yourself. I always use Alistair and Morgan. Alistair because I kind of have a great geek crush on him. Not gonna lie, Alistair's awesome. And Morgan because she's a caster, and you know, it's all you. If you don't have a mage in your party, the other mages will F you up. And then just, you know, I didn't really use a lot of different characters. I was mostly those 3 and then Ogren, because the characters interact with each other, and depending on where you are at the game, they'll just randomly start talking. And as Alistair, the innocent little church boy, Ogren teases him relentlessly about never having been with a woman, which is freaking hilarious. And there's also Sten. Sten is a Canary. He is basically a two-hander, you know. Not Alistair's sword and shield. Everybody else seems to, you know, prefer two-handers. And the talents are good, are nice, but if you spend them, you cannot take them back. You get one shot, and if you mess up, you're screwed. There's Liliana and Zevran, who are rogues. They can pick locks, which is incredibly useful because there's a lot of cool stuff in a lot of chests, and it sucks having to go back and unlock chests when you have already been through that area and forgot to take one of them with you. There's just several different endings, which I really like, depending on your choices throughout the game and how the characters react to you and how their affection levels are with you. There's 4 different endings. You either sacrifice yourself, somebody else, everybody lives, or something else. I can't remember the last one. But through one of those endings, you have to gain an additional party member. But if you take Terran Logain with you, Alistair leaves you forever. And as a female character, one of the endings is you could marry Alistair and become queen. That was not happening. Even though you can only be a noble, human, or a rogue if you're a female and you want to be queen. If you're anything else, he will dump you, and it sucks. If you are a male character, you can marry the queen, as the king is now dead. You have to still be a noble. No mages allowed. I don't know why. It really sucks because I restarted my entire game because of it. Not cool. What else? What else? When you're fighting, they have a really unique battle system. It's not turn-based. It's more open. Everybody just randomly attacks everybody, which is cool, but kind of sucks because you have multiple characters you need to worry about. But you can use the bumpers, that's what it is, and flip in between them at any time and heal them, or, you know, focus on somebody else. You can also hold down the button and cycle through everybody and set them to do one action before, you know, yeah, you can set them to do, you know, their next action, and then when you release that button, after you set everybody up, they'll all do that. They'll all heal, or they'll all cast their spell, or, you know, whatever, which is very helpful in boss fights because it basically pauses the game while you're in the radial menu, and you can pretty much heal up everybody. You know, overall, yes, it was a very good game. I spent many, many hours playing this game to the wee hours of the night into the very early morning. There's a lot of downloadable content that I don't yet have. I've experienced Shale. I love her. She's hilarious. She's a good tank. And she has an horrible hatred of pigeons and all things squishy. She was a statue for a while, and you know, statues and pigeons don't get along, and she wants to smash them all, which is awesome because it's funny. And again, the characters interact with each other, and you know, they just talk about, you know, different things, you know, how they, you know, just question each other. Liliana will hit on Morgan from time to time. Morgan, who is voiced by Claudia Black, who is Vala Malgaran from Stargate SG-1, favoriteest show ever. I can't wait for Dragon Age 2. Haven't learned too much about it yet. It's going to be similar to Mass Effect in a lot of ways, which I like. Mainly your character will speak now. Character customization isn't going to be the same. You won't have the options of different races and classes. You're pretty much stuck with what you got. Yeah. Overall, thumbs up. Dragon Age is freaking awesome.
So you are the commander of the Grey Wardens.
It has ended, just as he foretold. With the death of the Archdemon, the Blight was defeated. But the Darkspawn did not simply disappear.
They came out of nowhere. There's one with them. A Darkspawn who talks.
The security of Ferelden relies on the Grey Wardens now, even weakened as the Order is.
You are thinking you know of our kind, human? That will soon be changed.
The Lords have come to swear fealty to you and the Grey Wardens.
There are traitors in our midst.
Tread carefully, Commander.
Your reign ends here.
The spirits will watch in envy as the mortals of this realm bow down before me.
You will need to replenish your numbers.
I'd rather miss the whole Darkspawn killing thing.
Join us. Join us in the shadows where we stand, vigilant.
You have quite the task ahead of you.
And you better subscribe to Box News so you can enjoy all these lovely reviews, or I will send hordes of evil, angry zombies to your door to find you and destroy you. Thanks.
Son, listen close, because there ain't much time. I've done my best to raise you right. Time to earn our pay. I ain't leaving you, Pa. God damn it, that's what I'm trying to tell you. I ain't your father. Go home.
Thomas Magruder, a railroad man. He's taken over the territory. Us and the Apaches are the only ones fighting back.
Count me in too.
Goddamn girl.
Welcome to the Resistance.
If they get the upper hand, I promise you'll put a bullet in my head before they have their fun.
Let's do what they don't expect. Attack.
God damn, kid.
No one is going to stand in the way of my destiny. You understand? No one.
I am cold. Gun. My story.
Welcome to episode 29 of Box News. Thank you for tuning in for yet another episode this week. This week's game is on Activision's Gun. which is not a ripoff of Red Dead Redemption. For those of people who've seen the intro, if you look at the intro, it was released in 2005. It was one of the early launch titles for the Xbox 360, so it did not rip off Red Dead Redemption. It was out before it. Basically, I'm going to recommend this game right off the bat. I'm going to do a quick review on it because it's been quite some time since I played the game, so I'm just going to do a quick review. This is definitely worth picking up. You can find it anywhere used, less than $5, no joke. I mean, it's 5 years old. The graphics are not going to look the best. From that trailer, you're not seeing the best. Like, that's polished up gameplay. It's not the sharpest looking game. But the story is much similar to Red Dead Redemption, so if you can't afford Red Dead Redemption yet, which is still over $50 used, pick up Gun and play through that. It's worth a playthrough. It'll probably take you 10 to 15 hours, much like Red Dead Redemption, if you just fly through the story. It doesn't have all the cool little things, all the mini games like Red Dead Redemption, but it does have enough to keep you satisfied for a Western, kick. It has railroads, it has horses, it has, for some reason, Westerns, all Westerns call Juarez, Red Dead Redemption, Gun. I mean, I wasn't around in these times, but for some reason everything goes slow motion. Why is that with Westerns? Why does everything go slow motion and everybody has like a dead eye or a sharpshooter or eagle eye? Somebody answer that question for me. Comment. I don't get it. I don't get why Westerns have slow motion. It seems sort of a sci-fi thing like Matrix, but apparently Westerns are the ones that have incorporated slow motion. But it's cool, it works. It allows for easier shooting, easier gun mechanics, because this game does not have the best shooting mechanic, but it does work with the slow motion. The riding mechanic of the horses are clunky. It's not the best game, but it's worth $5 if you can find it. Gun, it's a Western. You've seen from the beginning trailer here. You play the story, gaining revenge on your family, going through. There's towns littered throughout the Wild West. There's just different things to do. I really enjoyed it back then. If I were to pick it up now and play it, I really don't know. After playing Red Dead Redemption, I really don't know if I think it'll be an amazing game. But if you play it before Red Dead Redemption, you'll have a blast, and you might even have a blast if you play it after Red Dead Redemption. Like I said, it's not worth $60. It's an old game now. Was it fantastic when it came out with the system? Yes. Is it fantastic now? No, it's not the most fantastic. But I do definitely recommend picking up Gun. It's available now if you can find it for less than $5. If you just want your Western kick until you get your hands on Red Dead Redemption this Christmas, or however you end up getting your hands on it. I know we're still a little ways away from Christmas. I started that early. So I'll start playing Christmas songs for everyone, especially Andrea Lana. I'm going to start playing Christmas songs for you. So be on the lookout for that. But just a quick wrap up. Gun controls, they're clunky, graphics not the best, gameplay, fun, replay value. There's a lot to do in the game. Not as many side missions. But I mean, it's fun. It's a Western. If you dig Westerns, definitely pick this one up. It's not the most amazing Western out there, but for 2005 launching the 360, it definitely showed, hey, 360 is going to be a fun system, and it's going to have a lot of good games. Now here we are 5 years later, Red Dead Redemption. I just can't wait to see what we can get in another 5 years, We might have some fantastic games, but please do not make them all motion games, and do not make them all 3D games. Please, someone stop this madness. Just want to thank you again for tuning into episode 29 now of Box News. A lot more stuff to come. Wrapping up, these episodes here. I got a busy month ahead of me, so you're gonna see some old school games. Just because I'm not gonna have time to finish a lot of new games. Come next month, I'll have time to finish some new games, so I'll be able to review those. But a lot of these games are gonna be throwbacks, just because I don't have time to play and finish a lot of new games. I'm moving locations, so you're gonna see a few more episodes of Box News at this location, and then I'll give you a farewell tour, and then you'll see a new location, which I don't know where it is yet. But be on the lookout for that in the next month. There's a lot of new exciting games coming out in the fall. We're heading into the last quarters of the year. The big games are coming out. So just once again, thank you for watching Box News. Tell your friends, please subscribe, and I promise there'll be more entertaining from here out. Buy Gun. $5. Come on, get it. Thank you. Alright, welcome to episode 30 of Box News. This is a game many of you probably bought and never played. It's called Halo Wars. Why did you buy it and never play it? Well, probably because you wanted the new map pack for Halo 3. So therefore you ran out and got yourself a copy of the limited edition so you could play it. Well, not play Halo Wars, but play Halo 3 with the new Mythic map pack. You would get an early release by like a month and a half to 2 months before anyone else could buy and play them. So sales on this were very high during that time period, and I doubt anyone bought this game after that, especially with the shutdown of the company that made the game. It was a different company from whom makes Halo, which is Bungie. Bungie did not make this game. They obviously gave the rights to make this game. So what I'm going to do is show you what you all missed out on. If you like real-time strategy games, this one is almost perfect and is definitely for you. Alright, what I have here is the Marines, the Spartans, whatever you want to call them. This is the base you start with, and you have to find, we'll build up your base and find the opposing team, which is right here. They're in the dark. I don't have them found yet. But I'm going to show you. First off, I built some power plants. This gives me more power to build other things inside my base. You can build units. You can build warthogs. You can build turrets. Pretty much anything. Let's see. Sell this because I need to buy a supply pad, which brings me in resources. Much like Command & Conquer, this game is definitely very similar to Command & Conquer, which is one of the more successful real-time strategy games. The only difference is, well, there's a few differences. One of the main differences is in Command & Conquer, you don't just have a plot that you build off of. You can set up your base anywhere and kind of go around and do whatever you want. In this, you have to kind of go off a plot, which was one of my dislikes. I didn't like that. You see here I'm gathering resources. See, it goes up by 10. You see the little box counter go up. I don't know if you can see that very well, but it's going up by 10 every few seconds. That's giving me resources. I can upgrade these to double it, which I don't have the resources yet. Now what I'm going to do is build a barracks. If you're not a patient gamer, or you don't like puzzle or strategy games, this game is definitely not for you. If I was doing this review right when it came out and you wanted the map packs, run out and get this game so you can get the map packs. I wonder how many used copies are floating around of this game, because people didn't play it after they redeemed their token. I know a lot of you did. I definitely did too. But I played this game too. I beat the main story, which is about 18 or so missions. There's also skulls, which I obviously got from the Halo series. Alright, my barracks is built. I have the option right off the bat of building different types. I can do a Marine, I can do a Flamethrower, or a Spartan. Each one has its advantages and disadvantages. Spartans are very strong. They have extreme combat skills. They have the ability to jack enemy vehicles and commandeer friendly vehicles. Flamethrower obviously burns anything organic that they can find in their way, and a Marine is just basically like a machine gunner in Command & Conquer. They're just the disposable units. So let's make some of those. Let's make a Flamethrower, and let's make a Spartan. You can also upgrade these units, adds another Marine to the squad with new blood. You can add flashbang ability. You can also add a chain gun to your Spartan. You can upgrade some of these units 4 or 5 times, which makes them really strong against your enemy, but beware, your enemy is doing this also. Here I have some units made. Here's my flag that they will spawn to. I can move this around my base anywhere, and that's where your units will go once they are made. Alright, let's make another thing at this time. I'm going to upgrade my fortress, which I have to wait till it gets to 400 resources. And it is. This will upgrade 2 more plots, which will appear there in a moment's time. Now, some of the things I disliked about this is the fact that you can only have up to 40 units on the screen. In Command & Conquer, one of my favorite things to do was build just a massive army and then just have a defensive strategic game in the beginning so that, you know, don't destroy my base. Just build this massive army and then go all out and attack and win. It usually take an hour for like a battle. Alright, now what we see here is like resources like you would find in Command & Conquer. These also add to your resource counter, which gives you like a little boost. What I built here was a turret for basically home defense. And I'm being attacked, it looks like. It warns you up in your little radar that you're being attacked. So let's see who is messing with me. You can select all your units and then move them to wherever you would like. It looks like we have another base over here. Oh, and they are trying to take it over. As you see, they have hunters, which are much stronger fighters than my Marines. So my Marines are probably going to die here. Now you see this first attack here. This is a battle. You select your troops, click on them, and they will start shooting them. Now the mode I'm in, this is not any of the story missions. This is just a skirmish, which is much like... I am getting owned here, by the way. The skirmish is much like... I'm in a skirmish mode, Command & Conquer. So if you're familiar with that, you will be very familiar with this skirmish mode. The main story missions basically have a cutscene and then have you go through different checkpoints to destroy things. They don't allow you to build the massive army, well, somewhat massive. They encourage you to build certain types of units to defeat the enemy. Basically, it's a tutorial to just have fun with the game and learn what different things do. Alright, now you see my base is getting attacked here by hunters. I'm going to try to build a turret, which I don't think I'll be able to build in time. Pretty much going to lose this fight. It's been a while since I played, so I'm a bit rusty. But you get the idea of what you do here. So obviously, instead of being distracted and talking, I should have been building up my defense and my army the whole time. But I wanted to show you basically some of the things and what to do. And here you see they are demolishing my base. I'm going to give my final thoughts on this. Basically, the story was well done. It was really fun. It takes place at the beginning of the Halo War. So you get a little backstory on how things began. The cutscenes are really well done. The visuals are amazing. The thing I didn't like is the cap on your how many infantry you can have at one time. But other than that, if you really like real-time strategy games and you're really into the Halo universe and anything Halo related, you're really going to get a kick out of this game. It's about 20 bucks now wherever you go. Sorry you no longer get free maps with it. But it's worth picking up. I really encourage you to pick it up if you like real-time strategy. If you want to try one out for the first time, this is really easy to learn. Like I said, the story gives you a tutorial. It's very slow-paced and easy to pick up and learn. So definitely check it out. Halo Wars is available now, and I hope you enjoyed my review on it. This was episode 30. Now I have done 30 episodes. And as you see here, the Covenant are destroying the Spartans. Could this be the beginning of Reach? Who knows? Well, I want to thank you again for checking out Box News. Hope you enjoyed this review on Halo Wars. And, you know, maybe you'll pick it up because of my review or what you've seen here. But anyways, thank you very much. Stay tuned for more.